And I'm gonna listen to the stream at the beginning and see if the audio works.
Good idea. Should be working. I don't know if we're live. Maybe we're live. Looks like we're going live.
Are we?
If everyone
You
can
didn't
hear
link
me.
to the video on the thing, but I will link to the video on the thing. In fact,
I
I'll
didn't.
throw it
Oops,
in.
I also
Oh yeah.
didn't have my video up. There. I exist. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Yay!
I think we're alive. You can hear you, and I can hear me. I think we're all good.
Perhaps.
I could turn on some music.
Ooh.
Just a little tiny bit of music in the background. So why not? Alright, we're live. Welcome to another week of dev on TetraForce. If you're new to here and just checking out the video for the first time, TetraForce is a top-down action-adventure RPG that just happens to be multiplayer as well. We are getting really close to having a finished demo. We just have bosses to do. So I'm still working on bosses. Unfortunately, I haven't had a whole lot of time since last week to work more on it, but I'll be working on that. I also have Foreign Clay with me this evening. Welcome. Oh, hey, Adam. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you dropping in, even if you can't stay long. It's awesome. So yeah, we're just going to do some more pixel pushing tonight. Foreign Clay and I will just be chatting, hanging out, having a good time, as long as he wants to hang around.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll just Joseph B and I last week we just like talked random while I was doing pixels. So I'm totally down for just having fun conversations while I work on this. So let's.
Can I get a last week on the Retro Dragon? What happened?
Oh yeah, you want to recap? All right. Okay. So last week, I have been working on this dead captain. So I'll open up his idle. This is his idle state here. So you can kind of see.
Oh, whoa! Okay.
And then his jump animation is pretty simple, but obviously the X and Y will be manipulated in Godot. But the cool thing is his attack. So when a player,
I like that jump.
Whenever a player gets within a certain range, I guess I can share my screen on Discord for you too, so it's less lag.
Oh yes, please.
1 second, let me do that. That'll make your life easier.
Yes.
That one. There. You should be able to see it now. Go back to my YouTubes.
Yes.
So, the one that I've been working on, what I worked on last week was his attack. So whenever a player gets close, he swings a sword.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I've been working on. And
Right.
the whole idea is once he gets to a certain, or after he does a swing, he kind of gets into like he wraps himself up in vines, so he becomes vulnerable. So that's when you can like attack him, kind of idea. So you want him to kind of swing his sword and then get into a vulnerable state, which is what I'm working on tonight.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he'll also throw bombs, which I still have to animate. So the idea is I guess I had it here. I could pull it up on TetraForce. Let me go to the GitHub. I have it nicely written out in the GitHub.
Hey.
Issues, milestones, dead captain. Let's bring that over here. So the way Joseph B coded it is that he would essentially have stages, which is essentially just different animations, kind of like how we did the original Stalfo skeleton guy. So stage 1 is just kind of the opening animation, right when the battle starts, and then stage 1 is actually when he checks for the position of the player. So if he's far away from the players, he's going to throw bombs. And then if he's close to the player, he'll swing the sword like I was just showing you.
Nice.
And then when he swings the sword, he enters into the vulnerable state. And then if he gets attacked, or if the player doesn't do anything for a certain amount of time, he'll go to stage 3, which is basically just leaping into the air to get away from the player. So he's going to try and purposely get his distance away from the player. And then stage 4 is just the death animation. So pretty simple, but he's just a mini boss, right? He's not supposed to.
Yeah, that's some cool behavior.
So yeah, so that's what we've been working on. And
nice.
I did finish. So I wasn't quite as far into the animation as I am now. Last week's stream, so his full swing is basically done now. So that's cool. I was gonna work on him getting tangled up, which is what I'll work on tonight. So yeah. That's where I'm going to go. Stop,
Woo!
stop. So, stars align. We're gonna finish that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna work on that now.
Awesome. That's cool.
I was working on my Majora's Mask randomizer thing
Yeah.
because I just realized. So my plan was because I've been playing randomizers on my Wii for the last couple weeks, and I started making this tracker so that I could eventually. I was
Ooh,
just
pardon
making
me.
it for PC, but I eventually wanted to put it on Android
Yeah.
so that I could just have it on my phone and then track my shit and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I just realized something though. Now that I'm playing Majora's Mask Randomizer on my Retroid, which is Android, I could have the tracker on the system and be able to track it
Can
on the
you?
same
I was
device.
gonna say, can you
And
toggle between the two programs?
yeah,
Oh, nice. That's cool.
so I'm excited. But otherwise, I'm just been working on it like very sparingly. Today,
Yeah.
all I added was if I hover over like a location in the game, it'll there's a list of all the randomized checks on the tracker right now. That's what I have. And
Right.
then if I hover over one of the checks, it'll tell me exactly what items I need for that check, and it's cool.
That is very cool.
So I've been like actually using it. I haven't been using it as a tracker because I haven't finished all the buttons with all the items and shit.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, for the items I have in there, it does like show. It does like write them down. All I need to. So actually, I can use it as a tracker now. It is actually functional.
There's capabilities there. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing that I want it to do that'll make it special is because I have the logic imported into this program, I can make it so once I have an item checked off as complete, it'll and since I have all the checks and exactly what items that are required to get to those checks, I could highlight all of the checks that are available depending on how many items I have. And like I'll see like, oh, I could go do Zora Hall now. Now I could do these like I could get the shop items. I can't talk to Lulu yet because I don't have the Zora mask, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Like I'll have all that shit.
It actually like gives it guidance essentially.
Yeah. And that like I already have all the backbone. It's just I've been working on UI for the last couple days and it's a lot.
Yeah, UI is always challenging.
Yeah.
It has.
But once I get it functionally working, then I'll add. I need to make the UI better than it is right now, and then I can add controller support, and then I can run it off my Retroid, and I'm excited.
That is very cool. A fancy little tool. You know that people would probably like that too. Honestly, like not even.
Yeah, there's no trackers that do this for
Yeah.
Majora's Mask.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
So get some people's attention with it.
Hell yeah. And if once all I want to do is get good at Majora. Like I'm making this tracker just so that I could eventually get good enough at the game that I could keep this stuff in my head and just play.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be able to just play it and finish, like actually finish runs. I still haven't finished a single run. And I've been playing this for like 2 years now. But
Well, and the thing
once
is so long too. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot of game.
it's so easy to get lost.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna start a run. If I give up on this current run, I'm doing pretty well on this current run, and I haven't cheated at all.
Nice.
Like I've been making good like. Well, I know I could do this check, but it'll be annoying. And then after a while, I eventually do that check, and it's like, oh, finally I have the sword. Now I could do everything. So there's been a few of those. So I've been making decent progress. I beat one dungeon. I beat the first dungeon without the sword. That was
Impressive.
really hard.
That would be hard.
And I've been like trying
sounds
to get
awful.
all the warps and stuff, which require you to hit the owl statues with a sword. But I've been having to find Deku sticks anytime I wanted to do that. It's a lot, but now I have a sword, and it feels really good.
That's funny. Yeah, that would definitely help. I don't think I
Yeah.
could do any of that without a sword, to be honest.
it's
Sounds like a hard time.
it's not fun. It's fun. It's not easy.
It's
Yeah.
fun in a challenging way.
Yeah. But I want to get good at. I want to master casual Majora's Mask randomizer. Then I can move on and start playing Link's Awakening randomizers, because that I want to get comfortable with, because I feel like that will help a lot with what we want to do
Yes.
with TetraForce. So that's the plan. And if I figure out how to do this tracker, maybe the Link's Awakening one wouldn't be hard to make a tracker for too.
Yeah, that'd
So,
be
yeah.
cool too. Yeah, and like those, if you do make those trackers, as I said, like, and you share those with people, they'd probably really like that. So
Yeah, maybe.
really cool.
I mean, I've been posting progress on the Majora's Mask Randomizer Discord. They don't care, but that's okay.
They don't care.
They have trackers that work, but I think there are no trackers that support custom logic besides the spoiler log. Like it generates an HTML spoiler log, and you could like hover over things, and it tells you what items are there.
Yeah.
But I like that tracker because if you check off items, it'll do it'll show the available checks. Like that's what I'm trying to make mine do, except instead of it like knowing what the items are already, because it's also the spoiler log, you just have to input it yourself and then it'll do it.
Right.
And there are other trackers that do that, but they don't support the custom logic. That doesn't matter for me. I don't use custom logic. I play on the casual logic, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it'll see.
It'll be fun. It's fun. I like working on this.
Well, it is a neat project. It really is.
Yeah, I like working on tools and stuff, I guess.
You do like making tools. You're good at them though. Engines and tools.
Yeah.
Oops, I zoomed out too far. Alright, so yeah, so there's this swing.
Nice.
And then his rap would be like...
Ooh. Okay.
And then I'm gonna also make it so like his... I need to make his vulnerable state now, so I'll do that next. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. I can always clean it up a little bit more if I have to.
I'm tempted to the last thing I was working on in TetraScript was just like starting to get combat in and like things dying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to get enough combat in because I kind of want to remake this guy because I could already see with what I have how to implement all
like
this
how
stuff.
to get him implemented?
Yeah,
That'd be
for
pretty
Tetra
cool.
scripts.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because when I was saying I want to make TetraScript, everyone was like, "Oh, you're not going to be able to make complex behavior," and it's like, "Oh, you don't see what I'm talking about." So I want to prove everyone.
You can prove them.
Everyone could already prove me wrong because yes, I have been wasting my time because yes, I came up with this idea like almost a year ago now, but but it will be cool. Doesn't matter how quick, as long as it's really cool at the end.
And yeah, and working and cool, and I'm down.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna open up. No, I want to work on Stars Line right now. There's...
Too many things to work on.
Yeah. Stars Align, I still feel guilty about because it's done. The game's done.
Yeah, I know. It didn't take very long to get like basically done.
Yeah. And so is Lava Run. I'm so sorry, but Lava Run I think would benefit from going through one more time, adding more rooms and stuff like that.
Well, and I mean I can do that now too, right? Like I know how to do all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
now.
Yeah. If you wanted to do that, that would be awesome. But I also want to, because I kind of want more of our little games on this device. I'm tempted to remake the Terra Labyrinth Jam, honestly.
That'd be fun
Like
too.
do the same exact game, just update it and make it a little less jank.
Yeah.
And maybe
just
come up with
replicate
like, yeah, I don't know, and add the enemies from the new version. Could be cool.
Yeah, because we had some really cool enemies. Like I loved the Owl Knights and stuff. Like those
Yeah,
were
it's
so good.
so fun. See, Terra Labyrinth was really fun, and every time we streamed it, like people tuned in for every stream the whole time.
Yeah.
People
true.
liked that one.
Yeah, it's true. All of our games, every time we do anything, people
Yeah.
do. So, just gotta do them.
Yeah.
Gotta do things. I'm working on Terra Labyrinth. I'm working on TetraForce. It's still making progress.
It's almost done.
It is. It's very close to being done. I can't wait for it to be done.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of things we can do with it, but the demo will be a good place to at least call it done and keep going if we want to or whatever.
I think when we release the demo, people are gonna play it, and then we're gonna work on it even harder.
Yeah, that's quite likely.
I think we have like not like shown off this game.
No, we
Really,
haven't. We really haven't.
and like that might have been like my biggest motivator before for working on things is I would stream it and everyone's like, yeah, do more. I'm like, okay.
You're like, sure.
Yes.
But this
So
has been
I do
want
to get those videos out
Yeah.
at some point.
I agree.
But gotta. Well, yeah, those videos will be so quick to make. Everything's already in. We just have to hit record.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like, yeah, you're right. Once we get some eyeballs on it, like, people are gonna motivate us for sure. Well, because even like when I streamed at Jupiter, right, like that motivated.
Yeah, that was fun as fuck. Yeah.
And I'll do this. We'll do the same too when the demo's actually complete and everything. So.
And we would do stress tests like somewhat regularly last year.
Yeah, we were, quite honestly. And
there was one that I streamed that had like a lot of people.
Yep.
That was the one where Miz came in and played with us and then just derailed everything because everyone wanted to talk to him. I'm like, oh, okay.
that was funny.
But that was super
really
fun.
Yeah, and it was super funny. Like, that's just how random is that?
Oh, that was the bandsword night. That was not a good look for the game, but it was funny.
It was funny. That was just very funny.
As long as we're in on it.
That's right. We can exploit our own problems.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, no, and that's it. Like, whenever those nights are a lot of fun, and they go really well. People love it, so that's a huge part of this is having fun with it.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Yeah, I want to make videos. My last video was 10 months ago.
That's a while ago.
My last non-OST video was a year ago. Over a year ago. It's embarrassing.
Whoops.
And then a full year before that for my last tutorial. That sucks.
You just haven't been making any content.
Yeah. Bummer. Whatever. I kind of want to make a... I want to make a video on this Retroid thing. It's a pretty good Godot device.
You should. You should just do that.
Yeah, I just want to
heck of it.
test some harder things. Like, I want to find, like, that original version of Synthwave we had and see if it'll run on there comfortably.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there's a lot of lighting and stuff, so we'll see. But I want to make... I would like the Synthwave game to be as low spec as possible so that it would run on, like, the Pi or something.
Yeah.
Or on this device. Plus, like, with the aesthetic, we can afford to make it, like, low spec with that art style.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Synthwave, I'd still want to work on. We worked on it for, like, a minute.
Yeah.
A few months ago.
That's true. That
was, like, 7 months ago, actually.
That was in the spring, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was in the spring.
Yeah. It was, like, March or April or something. The original Synthwave was also made in April, I think, 2 years before that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn.
Right? Time flies.
Yeah.
Time flies.
How do we get so busy?
Life, I guess.
God damn it. I want to go back to being a high school delinquent and being able to work on games all the time.
Right? Me too. Happily. I will happily do that. But, you know, bills and stuff.
Yeah.
We still make games, just not as crazy.
Oh, you make games.
I make games. I make a game. Oh, thank you, Tom.
Tom's here?
Tom is here.
My chat's not showing that.
Oh, is there... Oh, maybe it needs to be reloaded.
Oh, there.
Did it show now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm almost done with his animations, finally.
Woo!
There, now is his vulnerable state, essentially. I could add a third frame in there, but I think that's fine. I don't know. I'm not going to go crazy. I've already gone crazy enough.
Not gonna go too wild tonight.
Yeah. Just semi-wild.
Yeah.
It's only Friday after all. Yeah, so there's that. Wrap to the vulnerable state.
Nice.
So swing.
It's gonna be a cool fight.
Swing.
I'm excited.
Wrap. Vulnerable. And of course there'll be vines hanging from the roof as well, right? So I'm gonna have those. I'll have to make those as well. So he is getting there. So now we need. I'm tempted to just keep going on this one file. I gotta make him throwing a bomb into the air now. So let me think about this for a second. I wonder if he should pull it out of his back like he does the sword. You think that looks stupid? You pull the bomb out from behind him. I guess he sort of has to. Like, how else would he do that? So I just use these 3 frames, and then this would be where the bomb is. So how else would he have a bomb? There's like no other way.
What if here's a idea. I don't want to change the original idea too much, but here's a concern and an idea.
Okay.
One is, how are we gonna make like the bomb throwing arc look nice?
So the idea is that the bomb is going to go up, just straight up into the air, and then they'll come raining down. So it's not really going to be an arc per se. It's just going to be a straight up throw up into the air, and then they're going to come down in random spots. Like the target position is going to just kind of be random within that zone.
Got it. Yeah. Now consider he pulls out like a big King K. Rool-esque blunderbuss, shoots it straight into the sky, and then the cannonballs start coming down.
I would be okay with doing something like that. So he actually pulls out a barrel here instead.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Let me get some inspiration here. I can think of King K. Rool in my head doing that, but then I can't remember King K. Rool. I don't think I spelled it right. Donkey.
King space K space Rool.
Oh yeah, that's right. There we go. Oh, let's see here. Because in Smash... Oh, no, that's right. And he's using the gun in Smash, isn't he?
Yeah, like that big blunderbuss kind of thing.
Yeah. What did he use in the original one? Was it like... I don't think he had
I think it was that, right? I don't know. I didn't play the Donkey Kong games.
I sure did, but I don't remember entirely. Okay. Yeah, we can go with... Should we do a blunderbuss? Because, I mean, he's a pirate.
It's a thought. I don't know.
It makes sense. I'd be okay with that.
I think it might look cool.
Okay, let's try it.
Yo, I'm just playing Stars Align right now. I love this game.
We make fun games.
It's fun, yeah. And Terra Labyrinth, oh my god, that game is so fun. The combat, like, was getting pretty good.
Well, I think
it was getting fun to, like, run around.
It's single player. It would be done in a day if we did it now.
Oh my god, dude.
There's
can
no
we just
multiplayer.
Work on a single player game and can we just finish Stars Align? Like, it'll take minutes.
I'm down, man.
Oh, yes.
This demo's almost done, so I'm down. I'm ready to take a break from this.
Yeah. If I get Stars Align to, like, it's pretty much done, you just have to draw, like, the boss sprites. If I made a boss with programmer art and, like, did everything, and then it was like, even if you weren't done with the demo, I was like, here, everything you need to draw is right here. And we did it. You would do it? Yeah? Bet. Okay.
So you do it, and I'll do it. You do you, and I'll do me.
Okay. I will prove that I'll do my part first.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, you do.
Right,
you
I want to work on this game.
You hold up your end of the bargain, and I'll hold up mine. How's that?
Bet. I will. Yeah. Because it just needs the boss. It just needs the boss.
Yeah.
Like, once it has the boss, the game's complete. Then we can just go through, pretty up the environments,
All right.
pretty up the UI. If we really don't, the menu UI is fine. It just needs like a pause menu,
Yeah.
and it's done.
Okay, so let's figure out what the boss is. Maybe you will, because I can't do it because I can't. I'm working on this. But can you do some like snooping and decide what we want to do for a boss? Think of an idea.
Here's what I was thinking. It would be something stationary that like hovers above the player,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll throw down some sort of enemy that you can freeze to jump up and shoot it while it's in the air.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, because the ice beam's the last weapon you get in this game. I would think
it was like
wall jump, float, and ice beam.
Right, and those are only 3 right now, right?
Yeah, and that's all we're gonna have.
Yeah. Because we're done. The game's done.
The game's done. We're finished.
We're not scope creeping.
No more.
Yeah.
I would love to, once the game is done, if we really like this gameplay, we could go and do more with it. But it's solid right now.
Yeah. We won't mess with that.
Yeah, it's a solid experience. It just needs a boss. I would love to make a long game like this, but otherwise, I just want this to be a done game.
Yeah, exactly.
And same thing with Terra Labyrinth for now. I would love to remake the jam gameplay, or it could be just like a hand designed dungeon.
Yeah.
And it could also just be really short. It could be another demo just with a hand designed dungeon. Same thing with Stars Align. This could just be a prototype. We could have a second Terra Labyrinth prototype release with a hand designed dungeon. Doesn't have to be long. Stars Align is only like 10 to 20 minutes. Less if you know what you're doing.
I was gonna say, unless I'm playing, and then it's like 3 days.
No, 10. You'd beat it in 10 to 20 minutes for sure. When I would have people at my club play it, the timer would get up to an hour with everyone passing the controller. Yeah, no, I'm also redoing the level design. I'm making it a little bit more forgiving. There were a couple like 1 block things you had to land on. It's like, I guess I can make it 2. But
yeah, to make it a little bit easier, because
yeah, the game can be easy. I don't care anymore. I started this game being like, I want to make a really hard game, but apparently people are bad at hard games, so whatever.
I know that. Tom says the pirate boss here is how I imagine it'd be like playing tethered VR, where you're like all like roboticized to the computer, 1,000 wires. I still want to
make a VR game too.
Oh,
dude, you should get a VR headset.
I would love to make VR games. I have so many ideas of how to make VR better.
Like what?
Like, my thing is because right now the controls are sucky, really. Like, you can't walk around in VR games. Like, there's just no way to walk around. Where I had like this idea in my head for like a yoke. It's almost like pedals. So like you could control all of your walking mode. You'd basically be sitting instead of standing for the VR, but you could walk by having pedals. So like your right foot, if you push forward, and you'd walk forward, and if you push backwards, you'd walk backwards. And then like your left foot, if you did that, would be like forward jump, or like the forward press would be like jump, and then backwards press would be crouch. And then you would have like centrifugal, oh my god, I can't say that, centrifugal forces in your knees that would allow you to like strafe and stuff like that. So depending on how you leaned your knees, you'd be strafing or turning. So like your left knee, if you tipped it right or left, you would turn right or left, whereas your right knee would be strafe right or left. So like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so like your feet could still control all of the movement in that game, and then your hands are free to do whatever you want, like pick up stuff or whatever, because your legs are doing it. I would love to build a controller like that. And obviously it would take some while to get used to, because like you'd have to train your brain to do all of those motions, but that would allow your VR game to actually be interactable and walk around.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that you could get used to using the joystick on VR. Like I've played No Man's Sky. That's a full like walk around kind of
Is
game.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I played it. It was it's fine, but yeah, I'd say the big problem with VR is there's no like perfect movement system yet or something that's fully comfortable. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
I want.
But it would be very cool to make
Yeah,
VR as well, just to mess around with.
just want to make stuff.
Make things. Making things.
I want to make I wanted to start working remake. Remember that Mabe Village 3D model I made?
Yep.
Well, Crocodile 3D, that program that I use for modeling characters.
Yeah.
It's like literally made for that. Like
Yeah.
just straight up like that's what it's for.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to make a Link's Awakening-esque fan game, even if it's just like a short little thing.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of doing like the Paper Zelda thing, but as a 3D Link's Awakening kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just stick that combat in so it's different enough and be like, oh look, it's blah blah blah. I don't know. I want to do something with the Paper Mario combat system, but I just don't know what yet.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like it's a neat concept. Just got to figure out exactly what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Plus, like fan games, people like fan games a lot.
It's true.
And I mean, like, TetraForce is, like, let's be honest, only popular because it's Zelda.
Yeah.
It's only interesting because it's Zelda. But that's fine because it's awesome and people love it.
I sure love it.
Yeah. So I would love synthwave. I've been like wanting to. Metroid Dread just came out, so I've been playing all the Metroid games again.
Oh yeah.
I've been wanting to make turn synthwave into like a Metroid Prime-esque thing. Just with like the Doom like graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
But I still want that game to just be a deathmatch too. Synthwave's cool. I want to work on that. There's so many things.
That was the thing too with the synthwave it was basically an original idea. Like it wasn't really a fan game of anything, and it was like super popular.
Yeah, it did start off as a Metroid fan
game. True.
But only for like a day. Yeah.
That was just because you didn't have graphics for it.
Yeah. But if we synthwave, like, we could do synthwave with the bad multiplayer again, and it would still be fun. I just want to make games that are fun for us to play, just something I could show off and be proud of. We don't have to make like complicated multiplayer for synthwave right now, unless people actually think it's an interesting idea, and then sure. Oh, I did see another FPS with the same exact aesthetic though. I found.
Oh, really?
Like, it's like much further along. Yeah.
We just waited too long. That's all.
Yeah. That's a bummer, but whatever. I don't care. We're still gonna do it.
Oh, that's why it looks. I was like, why does it look messed up? That's because there's a vine here. Yeah, well,
I said I was gonna work on Stars Align, and I'm just playing through it for the 4th time on my Game Boy or whatever.
Tom says, I always wanted to make a fighting game with all the consumer mascots, like Tony the Tiger versus Green Giant versus Mr. Clean versus Pink Panther. That'd be pretty funny. Apparently they made a Nickelodeon game.
And apparently it's amazing! And that's why I've been thinking about Smash recently, because apparently it's faster than Melee. But I just want to play Melee.
Yeah, Melee is great. But still, to find out that they made that, I was like, oh, that's crazy. It
has wave dashing, it has like all these advanced techniques, and it's fast as fuck. Oh my god, I can't believe that's real. It's absurd. You have freaking Aang fighting Reptar from Rugrats. Like,
oh, I can play as Aang. That's awesome.
You could play as Aang, Toph, and Korra.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
Is it like?
Let's play Melee.
Is it all 3D then?
Yeah, it's all 3D.
Oh, interesting.
It's just like the effects are kind of shitty. There's no voice acting, which is really weird.
Oh, that is weird.
But it's moddable, and people already modded in voices from the shows.
Nice.
And,
well, that's the thing with all those characters. I don't see how they couldn't have just like, literally just taken voice snippets.
Right? Apparently, there's some. They also don't like have. They don't have any of the Fairly Odd Parents. They don't have any Jimmy Neutron. There's like weird, like, characters that were excluded for some reason. Apparently, because it's not. I don't understand what the licensing situation is, but they were having licensing problems. It's not like a Nickelodeon in-house thing. Well, I guess it never is because Nickelodeon doesn't really make games. But
Yeah.
the studio that they gave it to it's they made Slap City, so it's an indie studio, I think. Just one that made a lot of money off of Slap City, which is another one of those platform fighter Smash clones.
Yeah.
Which was really widely like well received. That game also was like competitively focused. So then Nickelodeon gave it to that studio and said, "Yeah, you can make it competitive. We don't care. Just use the characters well, and here's what you're allowed to use." And they did the best with what they were given. But I feel like they said that like because the effects are kind of some of the graphics are kind of it doesn't look 100% polished yet, but they said it's gonna look like a totally different game in 6 months. And I believe them. That's great. If they're gonna keep working on it post-launch, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's like, just wait the 6 months, and
release
no one's
it.
gonna care in 6 months if the game came out in a poor state.
I feel like that's one of the biggest problems with gaming right now. Like game devs in general, like AAA and everything else. Everyone's like, let's just get a game out now, regardless of the quality of it. Make our money, and then maybe we'll like keep working on it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
There are like some developers who like surprisingly, second time I'm bringing up No Man's Sky. That game came out, it was so rushed, it was so unfinished.
Yeah,
but then they updated it a lot. It's pretty good now.
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard. It's like way better of a game now.
Yeah.
And again, they should have just flipped and waited a little longer to release the damn thing.
Contracts, I guess, and you gotta feed your employees and whatever. I don't know.
I guess. But it just, I don't know, seems a little bit backwards.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does. The thing is, it does take a lot more to develop games these days. Like way more people, way more resources.
Mm-hmm.
Just way.
And I could see this game. I like. I'm not actually that bothered. I can excuse any game getting, like, being a little unfinished right now. There's a global pandemic we're still in.
That's true.
So
That's
whatever.
not over with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I guess damn it, this is supposed to be.
I do unhealthily like to imagine, how much further along I would be in my own development on stuff, how much further TetraForce would be, if I was still in school and living at my parents'. I thought that, being in there, I thought that it meant that, like, that was discouraging me from working on games when I wasn't and stuff. But no, when I wasn't working on games back in my parents' house, it would be like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I would jump back into it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that long of a drought.
Yeah, now it's like 5 months.
Yeah, because real life is much more.
Yeah, oh my god. This is adulthood. You just have to do stuff all the time, and it sucks. What is this?
I know.
God damn it.
Tom is like, Cyberpunk will be great in 5 to 25 years.
Yeah.
A small mortgage, no big deal.
There's still Skyrim bug patches coming out.
That's so funny. But yes, being an adult is a lot.
Yeah.
It never stops.
Sucks.
It never stops.
So busy.
Isn't busy great?
Yeah, how are we gonna just make money again? What was the plan? I guess release TetraForce. Whatever.
That might
Never
have been
mind.
that might have been part of it. There's no time. Just release it now. We'll make our money.
Works for everyone else.
Seems to. He's got the start of a gun.
What if, no, it's stupid. Never mind. I'm probably the most guilty feature creep guy. That's why I never finish anything.
Stars?
No, I think I just never finish anything, period. Because even when I do, Stars Align is done! Ah!
Yeah, you just don't. You're not a finisher, my friend. You're a starter.
Ah!
Tom,
Lava Run just needs a description!
You're awful. I can't work with you anymore. I'm sorry.
You can't! It's awful! I don't blame you if you've left! Like, it's so frustrating. But admit, when I am working on stuff, it's pretty good.
You do make amazing things. You just need to make them.
I know!
Tom,
one of these days.
Tom J says Star System will never be released. I don't even know what's.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't even know what that game. I've honestly never even heard of it.
Star Citizen? It's
Yeah.
it's like a crazy space sim. It has like 3 games in it. Like I think they're working on a demo right now, which is like a first person like tactical shooter thing. But then there's like ships and flying around and exploring different planets and stuff.
Interesting.
It is way too big of a game to ever be finished.
Oh yeah, just the out of control scope.
Yeah, I remember in like 5th grade my brother telling me about that.
Oh, that's a long time ago then.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, it'll just never exist, unfortunately.
It looks good. It's a really pretty like high tech game.
That's a shame then. That's a real shame.
Yeah.
So we should just finish our game
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
Let's start with Stars Align. That's easy to finish.
Yeah. That's one I could do right now. TetraForce. I will say this. The scope for the demo got way out of hand. This is not a demo.
Yeah, this is like a micro game.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. Like I've got no problems with that. But
yeah, it's fine. But it was gonna be something else. I remember talking at my old apartment. Let's make a demo that'll just be fun to stress test around. I remember the features in there was like a short dungeon. We'll figure out PvP and like we'll have a town and something. Like,
yeah.
And I guess technically that's what's in there.
those are all part of it. They're not there.
But honestly, like in my opinion, and this is just an opinion, and it's not like I'm not going to claim that I am valid in having this opinion with how little I've done, but I think stuff like save and load, stuff like save and load. Why is that the only feature I can think of? That's the only feature I've been paying attention to the last couple weeks. The mini dungeons, most of the even dialogue and stuff. The inventory, I didn't have to get too complicated with the inventory. I didn't have to get too complicated with the network object stuff. Especially with how many problems that ended up going through down the road with the Godot updates. I have no idea with the blocks and stuff.
The Godot update really... Yeah, that was a really weird bug.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, unnecessary. And I think how I want to approach TetraScript right now is have it really slim and just
I'm dumb. I just overrode my 1 frame by accident.
No undo?
Well, I could undo, but I like this, so now I'm gonna I have an idea. I'll copy it and then I'll undo.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. With TetraScript, I think I'm just gonna I'm just gonna work on combat a bit and then see if I could just have all the enemies in.
Yeah.
And then that's already like, if we have the world and the enemies, that's part of the demo.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I think I'm going to approach it. There is like save states and stuff, but I'm not even gonna think about save and load right now. Even though that's something that was like, no, I guess that's pretty inherent. Save and load is fine. The UI didn't take that long, did it?
For what, like the save and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was Joseph B more than me, but he only spent like a day on that.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. I also think I'm like, the nice thing is I already did enough backbone on TetraScript that let me see. I think the TetraScript real-time multiplayer is like in. Let me see if I could just put that in right now with what I have. Because I have like all the
sorry, are you saying you're gonna put that in TetraScript, or what are you trying to? Sorry, I missed what.
Yeah, well, the multiplayer is like I keep saying like, oh, I'm about to start multiplayer, but then I haven't put it in. But I'm pretty sure I have everything for multiplayer right now. Oh, the last thing I was working on was aesthetic shit. Why am I working on aesthetic shit? Come on. I was working on the animated tiles. I guess that's important, but I don't know why I was focused on that. Yeah, let me add in. Oh wait, no, there is multiplayer. What am I talking about? I was having trouble with the exits.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had a weird thing going on with exits.
Yeah, but then I decided that I could just exits could be hard coded. That's the thing. I've been stalling on non-TetraScripted objects just because I have everything that's currently in the game. There's not that much in the game, but I have everything that's currently in the game coded with TetraScript.
Right.
I just don't know how I want to approach non-TetraScripted objects, you know?
Yeah.
Because the more of those hard-coded things that are in there, I'm trying to keep the engine part as light as possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, that stuff has to exist. So
yeah, exactly. You can't really get away from it entirely.
Yeah. Eventually, I want to have everything TetraScripted, but that's not important right now. For exits, who cares? For the sword, I want that to be TetraScripted as soon as possible, but that could be hard-coded for now.
Yeah, that one's a really complicated object.
Yeah. The player's hard-coded, so the sword could also be hard-coded. Those two are kind of like the same thing.
If Pirate Dude is bowling with a cannonball, that'd be really cool. He's not, but that's an awesome idea. I
love that.
I love that idea.
Yo.
Now I kind of wish he was doing that instead. It's gonna be a gun. It's hard to tell when it's backwards like this, but I'm just about to make it so you can tell what that is. But that'd be awesome. Now I just want him to have a flipping cannonball, bowling ball.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hard-code the sword, and I'm going to hard-code the exits, and that's probably going to deal with, like, all of my current issues with TetraScript, and that's what's stopping me. So, here, I'll do that right now.
Nice.
I made the sword in the first place for the original in, like, a day. Then what am I waiting for?
You did a lot of things in a single day.
Yeah, I was better then.
Like, you had, like, cutting grass done in, like, a single day.
Yeah, man, I miss that. That was the fun. That was when working on this was just super fun. I don't know what happened. Something about working on this game turned into such a chore for me, and I have no idea what it is, because it was... Like, still playing through this game and seeing the progress is still super fun, but actually working on it is so painful for some reason. And I feel so bad that I feel that way towards the coolest thing we have. But, I mean, that happened the first time around, too. The first time I quit on TetraForce, with the original people, that's when,
Yeah, that would... Well, and I don't blame you for that becoming a chore, because we didn't really know how to handle pushes and all that, or, like, pull requests properly.
Yeah.
Like, that got out of hand real fast, so I don't really blame you for that becoming a monster.
I don't want to have excuses, but the one thing that is discouraging here, and it's still my fault, This is still my fault, so it's not even an excuse. It's just still my fault. But coming back to the project and seeing things that I worked on and seeing they no longer work, that annoyed me. And that's like with certain things that other people had to touch to work on other things, and then having it not work anymore. That was the worst.
And I tried so hard to avoid that, like when I was like taking over and doing stuff.
Dude, I'm gonna repeat this one more time. I'm always around.
Yeah. Well, and I definitely have utilized you way more in like the last few months, but like instead of like trying to just figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
And it's gone better that way for sure. There's no denying that.
I do think like there are a couple. I don't remember what the last one was. There were a couple bugs that we sat through for a while, and then we just did not have a good solution for. Oh no, the last one I could think of, you ended up fixing. What was it? It was something with the reset wheels.
The objects didn't want to reset properly, and
it makes sense to hard code.
Yeah, I figured out a workaround.
Especially, there's 3 objects for the demo that use that. Yeah, those should be hard coded.
Yeah.
So
it worked out fine.
I think other than that, most of the things that you were stuck on that I helped you with, we figured out in a night.
Yeah, it didn't take long. Totally.
What else is there?
The reset wheel, the enemy trigger doors, stuff like that.
Wait, what's wrong with them?
Nothing was wrong with them, but you helped me figure them out in like a night.
Oh no! Is there anything else?
That's not working right now. No.
Yeah.
We're just on the bosses, and that's it. There's a few
other.
It's
done.
Yeah, basically, there's a few small bugs that we should try and look at before we call it
like
done.
What?
I'd have to look at the GitHub.
One
of the things is the enter properties for the collectible item drops. So like when you kill a monster and a heart drops or whatever, if someone enters the room, it's gone. So
I'm gonna say something controversial.
Yeah.
Controversial between us. I'm gonna say something that might make you upset. I think we should just remove collectibles for the demo.
Yeah.
Like we could have them in a small, like, I don't know. They are buggy, and the to network them properly, we're gonna have collectibles in the game for sure. It's like to network them properly, that's working for TetraScript, but they are not that important for the demo. The demo is so like out of scope right now anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think the collectibles people will care too much if they weren't there.
If they just weren't there.
Yeah, they're.
Would it be more work to remove it at this point, or just to leave it as is? Because it's not broken.
It would be no work to remove it.
Because like they're not broken in the sense that they crash the game. It just if someone
they don't crash the game, but they're so unpolished, and in order to make them like a fully functional thing, it would be a lot of work on the networking side.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fine if it just left them as they are. Like at this point, who cares? Just leave it alone.
The demo has enough fun content that something like that does not matter.
Yeah.
Anything like the shop does not matter for the demo.
Yeah, the shop doesn't matter, and I'm quite frankly, I think we're just not gonna have the shop.
Yeah,
because that was one of the things that was sitting there, and I'm like, whatever.
What else?
Adam's like, to be fair,
collectibles are the.
I was just gonna say, Adam Smith. Man, I can't talk tonight. Was saying netcode is tough, and I'm learning that the hard way. It is. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Did you fix the screen transition snappy glitch thing? Oh yeah, that's another thing. The camera for some reason is buggy, and I don't know why. You think it might be something to do with the map, the overworld map, but
yeah, because I feel like when we fixed it there, it broke it elsewhere. Right?
Yeah, it feels like that might be the case. That is definitely another issue, which is dumb because it works perfectly fine in TetraScript.
I think we just updated Godot too many times.
Yeah.
The small updates, like once 3.3.4 comes out, we could update that. That's bug fixes. But I think we started this game on 3.2. Yeah. And it was not the move to update to 3.3.
Yeah. That I agree. We probably shouldn't have done that.
And now I'm in this spot where 4 is gonna come out soon. I don't. Last time I thought about this, I just got too frustrated and stopped. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I want this to be on 4 because 4 is going to have like good performance increases.
Yeah, like literally better in basically every way.
Yeah, and I want to be working on games in 4 when it comes out, and I don't want to have to be going back to 3 for TetraForce.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't 4. I think the alphas are going to be coming out in the next few months. What do you think? Should I work on the demo, or not the demo?
Like
Should I work on
TetraScript?
the on TetraScript on 4 and just like update it as it goes
I
with
mean, you
the bugs that
could.
come?
Like, I'm not opposed to that. If you think you can handle it as it comes.
It's just gonna be like a for a fact there will not be any engine like substantial engine development until at least the beta comes out for 4.
Yeah, yeah, because you need it to be reliable. Because I think Joseph B was already experimenting with it because they had something out already.
Yeah, that you could play on the masters already.
Yeah, but it just like will randomly crash right now, so it's like not even worth trying to use at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that could be a thing that we do. I'm very curious. Like, I don't know whether you want to move away from tiled or whatever.
If we go on 4, we don't need tiled.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I was doing some of the TetraScript stuff. This is why Godot 4 is giving me such anguish. I was doing the TetraScript stuff because I wanted it so that we could be disconnected from Godot and have tiled and TetraScript and stuff like that and have it work with a good environment outside of Godot.
Yeah. Because that makes it more user friendly for other people, but
yeah,
it depends on
but
who's working.
If 4 has a good mapping tools, then I'm kind of thinking we just go back to doing it all in Godot, and just make a good GD script API like TetraScript would be, and then, well, I don't know. That's what I don't know. I like TetraScript, and it's working now. The things I have to work on for this engine are not TetraScript. It's, well, I guess it is if the sword doesn't work. So no, it's not done. I don't fucking know. Like some things could be hard coded. Enemy wise, TetraScript is working well, and for like the first couple releases of this rewrite, we could just have like only the enemies be TetraScripted. That's allowed, I think, because that allows us to make all the enemies scripted. We could do any, like, if we want to have like friendly NPCs or like neutral NPCs or stuff like animals or something, easily TetraScripted. Projectiles are already TetraScripted, so those are easy to just throw in. So no, there's no reason to undo that. What am I talking about? It's just the 4 thing. I don't know what to do about Godot 4.
Yeah. Like, what do you think about it if we were like just to... Well, I guess you can't just straight up move it over. Hey, it would be too different to just straight up move
there are a lot of GD script changes.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
It's stressing me out. That's yeah, I don't know. I like I don't know.
Yeah,
I think I definitely need not that I'm not already on a fucking year-long break, but I need some let's not think about TetraForce for a little while time.
Yeah.
Until 4 comes out, I think. That's where I'm leaning towards.
Well, and I mean, that's probably fine. Like, as I said, I'm just trying to get this demo done, and then I'm going to take a small break from it as well, probably. And then from there, I'm going to decide, like, do I want to keep going? Because at this point, like...
Well, on your end, like, once you finish your stuff for the demo, once the demo's out...
Yeah.
Then, like, I mean, if you wanted to keep working on that engine and keep working on content and dungeons and stuff, that's still,
it's
like,
easy.
Totally there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's like, there's... I think once the demo's released, you take your break from TetraForce. I wait until 4 comes out and then continue the rewrite. And then we go from there.
Yeah.
This is too big of a, like... Yeah, this is too big of a game to keep all of our attention on all of the time, and I think I can definitely use some other things released meanwhile. But I also don't want to, if you're in your groove with TetraForce, say, "Hey, help me with synthwave." Um,
Yeah, and I mean
but
that's the thing, right? Like I'm in the groove because I want this to be done, and it's so close
yeah,
to being done that I just don't want to lose that focus on it.
yeah, and now here's the thing. I think we've been saying it's so close to being done for a while. It really has not been. Right now, it seems that way for sure. If it's really just the boss and some bugs, then awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because I'm not like I haven't expanded the scope of this in any way, like in quite a long time now. So
okay. I was gonna say, like, absolutely have on
yeah,
all
no,
of our parts.
yeah, no. I'm just saying like the last like since we nailed it down the milestones,
Mhm.
like the scope is I have forced not expanding the scope any more than it is. So like, when
Yeah.
did we do that? I think we did that in May or something like that. Yeah, I think it was May because we had 6 milestones. So, and we haven't like expanded the scope beyond that, other than some bugs and stuff, unforeseen things like that. But
Yeah.
Tom, dude, start a new mini game in Godot 4. That would be fun too. I'm sure we'll have plenty of those.
Yeah. I want to get back into being able to just work on small projects and not feel bad about it. Because this, I do think my biggest issue with TetraForce is the scope at this point.
Yeah.
It's too big. There's too many things where if you touch one thing, it breaks too many other things, and it got a lot bigger
And I
than.
think that was the problem, is that it just got a lot bigger than we anticipated, so that's why it breaks things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we just
because
didn't code for it.
our features creep and our scope we're really bad with.
Yeah, yeah. It just, there was way more to the game than ever expected.
Yeah. And I mean, it's working out.
It is. It is.
Just
It's a bit of a
I'm not
push.
doing it.
Which is fine. Like, whatever. At this point, it's so close to being done that it doesn't matter. We're there, basically. Alright. Let's see how he looks here real quick. Does that look like a blunderbuss?
Yeah. I think it needs one more frame between it being facing straight up.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know?
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta have.
Yeah,
like,
that looks, or maybe it's just like a little too low. I don't know.
I could add a bit of roundedness to the top of this and move it up a little bit.
Perhaps.
Let's try that.
Because yeah, it looks super round for all the other ones, and then it goes straight to
Yeah,
flat right there.
flat. So let's move it up like that, and then add. Can I count? I can't count. Let's try. Oops. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, now I think it needs to be. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, still looks choppy a little bit. I think I need to get rid of the. Oops, this outer bit. I think that's part of it. Why does that look? I feel like I need to sneeze. Tom J says, you either define all the features from start and never deviate, or you try and make everything as modular and self-contained as possible so things never break. Yeah, that's pretty much...
Yeah, that's
Very
what I'm
true.
trying with the rewrite, but...
Yeah. Well,
no,
I think the thing,
What?
too, is, like, with the fact that we've had this many problems with the original demo, there's so much more you can actually have in mind when you are doing the rewrite.
Yeah, and there are like
'Cause
there are a lot of things with the rewrite that I'm already like, thank God we don't have to worry about this anymore.
yeah,
Um, like it is definitely the stuff that I redid thus far has been beneficial, and it would most of them would be too hard or impossible to add to the current build.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and there were things
So-
that we could think about. Yeah, like you were able to think about that because you already learned your lesson from the demo.
yeah.
So the demo has definitely been beneficial in that way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Learned a lot from it. A lot. Because, I mean, when you came into the demo originally... Oh, okay, I think this is going to work now. When originally, like, even just the multiplayer stuff, you were still, like, learning.
Yeah.
There we go. That looks way better.
Yeah, that looks good. Cool.
Let me say it still looks weird because I'm still not... I have to add another frame, but...
I just think... Is this an excuse? I just think, Hold on. I feel like I definitely work a lot better with getting some progress done than going to the next thing, then going to the next thing and repeating.
Mhm.
Sometimes I do fall into the, oh, I'm just gonna rewrite this again, and then I just rewrite exactly what we have, and then I move on again
Yeah.
to a different project.
Yeah.
But I feel like with TetraForce, I was still in that rhythm, and then the demo just turned into this endless thing.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't prepared to just work on TetraForce for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And I guess that's its own problem because thinking that way turned into me not working in the demo anymore. And it definitely, well, I don't know about definitely. Maybe I would have just started doing more feature creep. And it would be even further, like, nowhere near as far along as it is now. But who knows? I just,
Yeah, like, I have less issue of finding a project and, like, just working on it until it's something. And obviously, like, that's what this has been. Because
Yeah.
it's just relentlessly never ending. At least that's how it feels. Even though that's not true, because now it is actually getting very close.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it can be draining, right? Like, it's not always easy
Yeah.
to just.
And
stay
I mean,
focused
I
on
think we've gotten the most progress done in the shorts. Like, well, no, that's a lie. There's obviously a lot more done on TetraForce now, but I think I've been the most efficient swapping between things. Like, I think that if I had just been like, I'm gonna work on this project instead, and not felt bad about it, and then just worked on it until I was bored of that, then I would have come back to TetraForce sooner and been
Yeah.
and worked more stuff on. And that's what's happened. Like whenever I would think of another project and be like, I'm just gonna work on something else, that has got like I will get something done on TetraForce. Like all the TetraScript progress in the last few months has been like, oh, I was working on Lava Run or Synthwave or I was working on the RPG a couple months ago. I was working on that Pomodoro timer a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And anytime I would do that, then I would be like, okay, I'll get some TetraScript stuff done. And there are comments. I have proof that I've worked on it.
There's proof.
It's just but I don't know if me getting that stuff, me working on TetraScript is just the guilt or me actually wanting to work on it.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I know that. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
And I mean, I
But
think
now, like working on anything is just like I should be working on TetraForce, and then I work on TetraForce, and like this doesn't feel good.
yeah. Well, and I mean, you have to enjoy it. If it's not your jam, it's not your jam anymore.
Yeah, but if I want to make games for a living, I gotta have that discipline. So I'm probably not gonna be able to make games for a living, and that's something I'm gonna have to deal with. But I will have better success as a game developer, I think if I just had more projects that I worked on and I had a larger, I think right now I want a more varied portfolio than a killer app, you know?
Yeah.
Um, for me personally, and that's
Yeah.
why I
That's what you need.
am like, yeah, that's why I have smaller like synthwave. I have planned out like each phase. Okay, if we're working on the prototype, this is what's gonna be in there. Like I have synthwave planned out.
Yeah.
The RPG is a little harder to plan out because there's a lot more systems for that. But I've been planning out the RPG. Stars Align is almost done. Lava Run, at least our original concept is almost done, or it's done, but it could use a little more. Oh, hey Joseph, why aren't you in the call?
Oh, working on other projects is fun. I've done a few since I joined TetraForce team. Don't feel guilty. Yeah, he can just be in the voice chat.
Yeah. Hey, where are you?
I have not done anything other than TetraForce, and even though I've wanted to, very much so.
Mm.
This has definitely been something that I've been wanting to. Like well, we talked about it. There was things I wanted to mess around with and try.
Yeah.
I just because I'm so busy all the time with life.
Yeah.
I've tried very hard not to not stop working on this completely. So it's tough call. I also have a lot to learn still with Godot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting better, but there's so many.
You're
things.
significantly better than last year for sure.
Yeah, I've made huge progress. Which I'm proud of myself. I didn't know actually.
Yeah,
I didn't actually know
awesome.
if I was capable of it. Okay, I'm starting to get sloppy, so I'm gonna probably leave this here for tonight.
Oh. Aren't there programmers that work on a ton of different stuff all the time? Yeah. And I used to be like that. I used to stream often. I used to have a good rotation of projects. I used to have different videos. If I was working on a series, maybe I'll just start a different one, and then like, I think it's a lot more important for me to have finished, or at least like finished content, not necessarily finished games, but finished things to show all the time. Than I feel like with TetraForce is just too many. Especially when it got a little further than the original scope of the demo and then turned into like this is literally like a pretty featured game engine as it is, having to work on just systems all the time, that's not really something I could tweet that often. That's not really something I could most of the things that I've worked on TetraForce personally in the last year have not been things that I thought would be interesting to stream.
Yeah, they're not tweet worthy or stream worthy, right? Like it's just quiet behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
which I totally understand that.
And that's part. I've done as much as I've done with my development, probably because I do like the streaming, the community, and the attention. Like it's fun and it feels good. And when I'm working on bigger projects and it's harder to get like the fun content out, that's one of my shortcomings as working on big games. If I'm not, I don't know, I also rewrite things too often and then stop. I just stop too often. The rewrites are fine because they're better, and the progress is fast when I'm working on it. But I've just went from TetraForce to TetraForce to TetraForce, and
yeah, because you've technically rewritten this game like 4 times now.
Well, if we count, like I learned the first project in Godot was my original Zelda project.
Yep.
Then the Zelda series. Eventually, we got into like that original level builder TetraForce, and then we got into like the last TetraForce version, the original, like when we had the name TetraForce in the original Discord and stuff.
Yep.
And then this one. So yeah, there's been a lot of versions of this game.
Yes,
And
in
yeah.
a fairly short amount of time too. Like when you think about it, it's not like
Well, yeah, when I'm in this project, all that stuff happens fast, but I have not been in this project for a while.
yeah, and that the reality is that definitely slowed. This demo would be done if you were still all in, but like it is what it is. I just had to learn.
This demo would be done if we had a much smaller scope.
That too. Well, that too. But
and wait, hold on. Why am I getting yelled at?
oh,
My laundry. Hi, Joseph. I'll be right back. 2 minutes.
Did other Joseph B show up? Hello? Oh yeah, he's in here. He might not be talking yet.
Microphone is muted. Hello.
Oh well, hello there. Hello. How's it going?
Pretty good.
That's good.
How's it going here?
I'm
I wanted
good.
to join the conversation with Joseph, so trying to just stay small talk right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we back? Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Hi.
Welcome back. Hi.
I was gonna say, you shouldn't feel guilty for not working on TetraForce, working on TetraForce, doing something completely different, only doing TetraForce. Like, don't feel guilty about doing cool shit, man.
Yeah, but this no, I'm gonna feel guilty.
There's been plenty of times where I'm like, I'm not, I know I even like with I have like tasks with due date on TetraForce now because of how you reorganized it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make that deadline, but I don't really want to work on it, so I'm gonna work on something else. I do it, and then eventually I get to it, and it's fine. And you don't even have to do the time stuff like me and Andrew have been doing. You just whatever you want. Have you thought about doing game jams? Because like I do those, and those are all micro things. And since you're a lot better, I think with smaller projects, you could get a lot more screenshot-worthy content with that.
Yeah, but I don't want to ask anyone to help me with anything right now while we have a prior commitment. So I don't know.
Have you tried like solo game jamming?
Yeah, I was looking. I have like a good collection of itch free assets and stuff like that, and I have them on my computer, and I have a couple things that I started, but I don't like that, and I also can't do my own art.
Okay, I understand.
I've unfortunately come to fully rely on Andrew for game development, unless I start doing fan games again.
Oh. Yeah, that's the bad thing about having an artist. You become dependent on
I'm a curse.
Yeah. I was lucky, well, or unlucky, to never have an Andrew until
you had an Andrew.
Until the last year. So I have my very I'll just call it passable programmer art. That is
your last jam looked pretty good, to be honest. Like it was smooth. It looked nice.
Yeah. Thank you, but there are still some massive issues and like things not looking the way I want. Like I feel like with the main character with like his gas mask, I feel like it felt pretty flat when I wanted it to feel a little bit more like it was extruding, and I just didn't know how to do that with like, since it's not like a square shape.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure what what the good answer is there. You could just try it and see if something comes out well.
The answer could be that I just make a whole bunch of asset packs and then you just use them as you freely desire.
No, I think the answer is I just need to make games with the shitty art, and then once they are complete, I could be like, okay, can you help me?
That works too.
Stars Align. I'll finish Stars Align.
I was gonna say that's what you're gonna do with Stars Align. So
yeah. Now it's just like before I was able to just like
assets.
Huh?
Make a platformer with TetraForce assets.
Well, I want to. We got a good amount of platformer art. We between Stars Align, Lava Run, and Terra Labyrinth.
I
There are
was just
things I
thinking
want to
it would look
work on.
goofy.
I feel like right now I have a little bit more permission to say fuck TetraForce for 1 minute. So, I want to work on other games right now, and I'm not gonna. If the demo's almost done, and that's making me feel a lot better. Oh, did you hear about? What do you think we should do with If I'm already rewriting it right now, should I wait until 4.0 stable, or should we just stay on 3?
Sorry, one second.
I think TetraForce should just stay on 3 because I think that's where we make more sense, and I don't want TetraForce, and I don't think Andrew wants either. But you know, he can come back and say what he thinks. I know you don't want TetraForce to be a forever project. I think one of the things that can help us push towards having a done state is by just staying with 3.2, not spending time refactoring that, just cleaning up what we have in the current engine, or the engine. Your refactor good. So like things are in an end state. Plus, we do want a web version, and web. I don't think it's going to be a thing in 4.0.
Yeah, it is.
I was talking with a developer yesterday, and he wasn't sure what the support was going to be, because of the most browsers don't support Vulkan, and God 4 has moved to use exclusively Vulkan. So they would have to bring in a Vulkan renderer, which is supported by I think 25% of engines or less than that or something. Oh, sorry, browsers.
Weren't they literally advertising the Godot editor being runnable in their web browser as a 4.0 feature?
That was a 3.0 thing, wasn't it? I think they already have that, right?
Real quick, because Tom G left a comment. He's like, can each frame of the animation be a different speed in the editor or only in Godot? No, I can make every frame an individual. Like if I select these two, I can change the speed of those. So actually for example, I slowed these guys down to 400 milliseconds, whereas everything else is at 100 milliseconds. So I can change that here and in Godot. I've got full control over that. So I do take that into account when I'm making these animations. Sorry guys, go ahead.
What specifically did they said it's a... I would be astonished if they dropped HTML support from Godot for 4.0. That would be ridiculous. And I feel like I've been reading features about HTML5
I have a
4.0.
developer on Discord now. I'm just gonna ping him.
And 4.0 is far enough along that that's something that would have been announced earlier. Like alphas are coming out soon, and they're just not going to have the HTML5 export. There's a HTML5 export in the master.
Could be that they're moving away from HTML5 and towards the WebAssembly with Vulkan, which doesn't have a high amount of support, or something like that.
Okay, make sure, because that sounds really dumb.
Yeah. Well, I when he said it in the moment, the rationale made sense, but
I'm seeing Godot 4.0's editor will run in your web browser. Like, there's articles. Like, I feel like if they were gonna backtrack on that, I would have heard about that.
Maybe I've been fed misinformation. It's always possible. I get a lot of information, so a lot of it has to be misinformation, you know?
Or like 13 days ago, change log, HTML5, support for profiling projects exported to HTML5. Like there's 4.0 HTML5 progress being announced as soon as 2 weeks ago.
Verification.
Oh, my laundry's still fucked up. BRB.
Is what?
This is laundry.
Oh. Do, 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 do.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. I said I was gonna be done for tonight, and I'm still not done.
Well, anyway, either way, I think TetraForce makes more sense on 3.0, especially since how we're so close to having a thing we can build on top of.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as we get the TetraScript in there,
Well, that's kind of what I was at.
Yeah.
Like, TetraScript is early enough right now, and I'm also like not working on it. Should I just? That's what I was asking. Is if I'm not gonna work on it right now anyway, would it make sense for if I'm gonna be learning Godot 4 and developing my projects in Godot 4, should I just say let's wait until at least the betas or at least the late alphas, and then move it from there so that we are on the latest version? Because that's gonna be within the next like 6 months.
Possibly. Yeah, maybe. I don't think it makes sense to move over to 4.0 though. There's a lot of code change, like not just your code changes for TetraScript. The content we've coded on top of it. We're a month away from having a non-TetraScript.
Oh yeah, the 4.0 has nothing to do with the current demo.
Yeah, the demo would be
current
left
demo
alone.
has code that's going to go into TetraScript, right? We're not restarting all of that. So that
By the time I would be writing that, I feel like it will be when. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out by the time it's time to actually do that. It's not worth thinking about right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see where we're at. Like, again, even if we're gonna like keep going with TetraForce and all that sort of stuff, kind of have to just see where we're at with it all. If we're even prepared to put all that effort into TetraScript still, and so on, or what have you.
I guess right now I'm still on the like let's see how much people care about this game period to see how much effort or how many features I want TetraScript to have. If the demo comes out and it's great and we say like, oh, it's going to support blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah, then that's going to be like okay, do I keep developing it right now on 3.0 or do I wait until 4.0 kind of thing?
Yeah,
that we would have to ask. But a lot of my TetraScript stuff, it's like, will we even need this? Will people play this game? Like, so.
Yeah, it's true. We gotta see what the interest is.
Also, I understand your desire for code purity. I want it too. I feel like with I'm not sure how as a whole this project is going to end up having that, even with the rewrite merged in. Just because of the how long the project's been going and the scale, things naturally get messy. So like moving to 4.0 might just be another layer of requiring code rewriting that might make things look a little bit more messy, might make it look
Oh no, yeah, that's why my question is not like whether we should move to 4.0 period no, my question is, in order to reduce that, should I wait on the rewrite for 4.0? Because you already have a decent enough engine going on right now. If you wanted to keep working on the game post-demo, like soon post-demo, then there's no reason to wait for the rewrite then. Like I said before, like if you already have the engine support to make content on this version, just keep doing that.
It's not. It won't be nearly as good as TetraScript, but we do have a system with tiled and manually coding things and adding entities and stuff in GD script.
Yeah, like that's the thing. You could make a game with this as it is. There's no doubt about that. It's not as good as TetraScript, but it could be done.
Here is the quote from Mr. Aaron Frank, Godot developer. The master branch, what will become of Godot 4.0, currently only has Vulkan, which needs web GPU to work on the web. But browser vendors are slow to adopt web GPU, so the Godot developers don't want to implement web GPU, so no Vulkan on the web. If Godot 4.0 is Vulkan only, that means no web support. Oh, that's what he was saying last night, and that's what he said again today.
Got it.
I don't know. So I think it doesn't mean no web support forever. I think it just means
At the moment, they have to figure out how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna.
Oh no, okay, yeah, I see the article. I think he's talking, or article with the information he's talking about. OpenGL support will definitely be implemented by the time 4.1 is out.
4.1,
So, yeah.
so not 4.0. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
There we go. And that's starting to look like a... He's got a blunderbuss now. And now I'm just gonna... I'm doing way more animation frames for this than I thought I was going to do. So next I just have to make it so he shoots. And then it'll be done. So, but I think I'm going to leave that here for tonight. So
Woo.
save it and cool. Do that. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. I will be back next Friday doing streams. See if I've got either Formclick or Joseph with me again. It's enjoyable having some conversation while I'm just pushing pixels. Hopefully we'll have some code next week too. I hope this next week isn't so crazy for me. Oh, and Tom had a comment. Have you guys seen the guy remaking Castlevania Symphony of Night for the Genesis? It'd be crazy to someone get Godot to work with outputting to those old consoles.
Oh, I don't think that's ever going to be possible.
We were talking about that.
Barely possible with like the default blue screen or something, like blue gray screen. But I don't know how you can add content in there, especially full bit content.
I think one of the other challenges is like game size too. Like not even just the fact that Godot is like not even compatible, but like the game size for even our game is like 90 megabytes, which is way in excess of those old consoles.
Well, you can make you can make Godot projects a lot smaller.
You could and leaner, true, but
Wait, what's the download size of our game?
90 megabytes or thereabouts.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's still tiny, but
it is not that big, but
we're not using Visual Script. We could get rid of that from our compiler, from our Godot executable if we really wanted to. We're not using 3D. We could get rid of spatials. I'm sure there's a ton of other content we're just not using that we could just.
Wait, I don't think that'll significantly decrease, because if I were to let me try something. I'm just gonna make a new
significantly decrease the build of TetraForce because that game has content. But if it was
no, yeah, here I'm gonna export an empty Godot project right now, and I'm gonna see what size.
To be clear, I'm talking about compiling, so you can't do it with an already compiled Godot editor. You have to go into the source code of Godot.
I understand that, but I'm saying I don't think that's going to make any difference because a regular new game... Oh, I guess it is still 30 megs. You're right. No! Wait. That's... What the fuck?
Anyway, as soon as you start adding content, that's going to make up the majority of the file size.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That's still like 60%, 70%.
Yeah.
Luckily, but also Godot's really lightweight, and that's really cool.
Yeah, there really isn't much to Godot, really. When you're starting off, like, our game is really small when you think about how much there is to it. A lot of it's my pixels
When I was
and
talking
music.
to Aaron Frank the other day, I was so excited because he was talking about how he was trying to make every feature in Godot modular, so that if you're not using something, you can just turn it off and you can not compile it and have it even more lightweight, executable. And so that's just amazing to me. Like that's not something any other game engine really has.
Yeah, yeah, you just get the whole thing with it.
Not to mention that from the developer standpoint, gonna make the engine way less bloated in the future because if they need to stop or remove a feature, you can just remove a feature and it won't break anything else.
Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing, not breaking it, right? When you remove that stuff. It has to take that into account. Anyways, I think we're doing it. We're done here for tonight. So thanks for tuning in. If you want to check us out, you can go to tetraforce.io, download the game, give it a play. It's multiplayer, so bring your friends along. You can also join us on Discord, which is in the link below. So come hang out with us, and hopefully we'll have some more dev to show off next week. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you.